Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. Today we're going to do a reading for Capricorn energy. The top row is going to be for people who are harnessing high vibe Capricorn energy and what might be going on in their life. And the bottom row is going to be for people who are free willingly right now choosing to be in shadowy Capricorn energy. High vibe Capricorn energy is when we are aligned with love and hope and faith and belief in our dreams. We treat ourselves with love and respect. We offer love and respect to other people, and if they want to reciprocate it, that's great. We'll work together with them. If not, we wish them peace and we move on. High vibe Capricorn energy is about, Capricorn energy in general, earth sign energy is about putting in hard work and effort to build a legacy in life. But when you're high vibe, it isn't just about money and materialism and status and image. It's about living your life being free. You're free from living your life based on pride and ego and making decisions of making your life about money and materialism, not doing it because of fear or insecurity or pride and ego. You freed yourself from those things so that you can truly live the life of your dreams. You're putting in the work and effort to have stability and success in your life, but love is the underlying foundation for your life. And the people in shadowy Capricorn energy probably would be just more all about money and materialism. That is the driving factor in their life. They could be people who get in relationships then and create the illusion that they're like just and fair and balanced and loving and committed and all those things. But when push comes to shove, money, materialism, status, and image will be the deciding factor. And they might be people who are operating more from pride and ego, maybe because they've been hurt before, so they've decided to do what's logical and practical to make their life about money and materialism as the focus. Some people can just be selfish, greedy, self-centered. Well, they're tipped in their shadow anyway, and when we're tipped in our shadow, we're not seeing the truth and just haven't realized that the truth of life is about love and joy and happiness and creativity and imagination. Maybe they don't have a very strong emotional foundation within themselves to believe that they can weather storms in life, so they just focus on money and materialism and pride and ego. Okay. Oh, also, I did shuffle the Mega Oracle deck 1 and 2 from Manifestation Alchemy, got it off their Etsy shop, and we got the word money is coming. And I guess for the people in shadowy energy, the reason for that card coming out is sneaky. You high vibe people have had to really, you know, maybe had to mentally strategize around some people in your life that are sneaky and deceptive. And the people who are in shadowy energy are probably being sneaky to get their money to come in. Because when we're high vibe, we empower ourselves because we believe in ourselves and love ourselves and believe in our dreams. And people in shadowy energy are usually looking for someone else to align with because they don't believe in themselves. So, the the reason for the reading for you, high vibe people, is Empress energy. So, some of you could have been dealing with a Libra or a Taurus or someone who might be surrounded by a lot of abundance in the world, whatever they view as abundance. If they have a lot of money, if they're very attractive, if they have status or image, you could have been dealing with someone like this and you moved away from them in the Eight of Cups. You found it emotionally unfulfilling to be in a relationship with them. They also could have been someone who likes to be the center of attention. Like if it's a family or a work group, they think they should be the one in the center of attention and everybody else should orient around them. Everyone else should put aside their pride and ego for their benefit. But they don't put the family or the work group or the friendship group as the center of attention, where everybody puts aside their pride and ego and selfishness for the better good of the group. They want to be the one in the center of attention, is how it could be for some of you. Otherwise, some of you, we're dealing with someone who might look abundant in the world, but emotionally, they're not very abundant, not very loving, not very giving, not very just and fair and committed and loyal. So, and for some of you, it could be a mother figure. But otherwise, the Empress energy just talks about someone's traits and characteristics, male or female. But you walked away. It could have felt overwhelming at times, but in the Ten of Wands, you're giving it everything you've got. to keep moving forward, believing in your dreams, taking creative, inspired action, believing in yourself. And in the Six of Pentacles, you're putting in a lot of work to get balance between yourself. The Six of Pentacles talks about being balanced. So, any fears or insecurities that you had about walking away from people like this in your life, you could have walked away from a very abundant job where you could have been surrounded by luxury in life. But it's just that it would make you unbalanced. You weren't, it maybe wasn't something you loved. It was kind of running your life off in a direction where you weren't able to maintain balance in your own life. And the Six of Pentacles talks about wanting to have balance in our life, in our 3D world, but also be balanced, paying as much of attention and fulfilled emotionally and spiritually and all those good things and creatively. So if you were in a relationship with someone or in a job with someone where it wasn't enabling you to stay balanced and kind of tipping you out of balance, either because of the job or the person you're dealing with, and you don't want to be tipped into not having a balanced life or tipping you into fear or insecurity or making your life more about image and status than truth and honesty and fulfillment, you are putting a lot of work and effort into being balanced within yourself. And in the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is moving away from the Four of Pentacles. And also, you're moving away from the Six of Pentacles. So, this could be someone that you were exchanging resources with, time, energy, effort, hugs, kisses, money, investment, in them. And you're willing to let go of that. It might have seemed like a golden opportunity that would have been stable or something in the 3D world and had benefits in the 3D world in some aspect for money or image or status, but you're willing to let that go because moving away from being a Four of Pentacles person to a Five of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles is when you hold on to someone and, you're hoping it would move forward, but you've learned some lesson about this situation or person that you were dealing with. And you've just seen life from a different perspective and you're ready to move forward. You've learned, the whole thing is we come into contact with situations and people in our life for us to learn lessons about ourselves that, what do I love? How do I define love? Is that love? Is that person being kind and respectful and giving and loving and just and fair? Are they willing to put in work and effort? If there's someone who has things of the world, looks or money or status or image, sometimes people like that don't think they have to learn any lessons, that they're supposed to be the pampered person. Everybody's supposed to orient around them. And it's like, if you're not willing to learn and grow and you keep clinging to your old ways of being and just think you're good forever, no learning on your part, no giving, because some people really cling to old ways of being and they're unwilling to let them go. Sometimes they have foundations and things that they're attached to, like the world or their job or their friend group or their original family group, where they're just not willing to let those people go. They're more, it's kind of like, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I also want to hold on to those people. And really, I cling to those people, maybe codependent on those people for their sense of stability or security or sense of emotional well being. And instead of being willing to move forward with you, and in Leo energy, take emotionally bold, confident action and listen to their intuition, they could be someone who has a lot of things in the world, but if they operate out of fear, insecurity, codependency, it's like, if I'm going to move forward with you, I need you to take emotionally bold, confident, brave action in your life. I need you to be willing to step in your spotlight of your own life and believe in yourself and believe in your dreams and align with love and hope and faith instead of clinging to these ways of the past that need to be let go of because working together with you is unfulfilling and overwhelming. you know, I was trying to have balance with you, but if it's unbalanced and I'm having to put in more of the work, the effort, and I'm providing love and trying to be balanced and not tip in my shadow nature of being jealous or envious or bossy and controlling and manipulative, but you are, well, then that's not fair. So you are connecting in with your own emotions and listening to your intuition, and you have gotten to a place in yourself where you are very abundant and feel very secure, and you've balanced yourself out, you've put in a lot of work and effort, you're creative, you're inspired, and you want to live your life from love and being in relationships with other people who've done that same work as you. So you are ready to give birth to a new life. And underneath that, well, let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. You are going to give birth to moving forward in love and hope and faith and belief in yourself and in your dreams. You are going to take action forward in the Eight of Wands. Some of you might communicate to a Cancer or someone who you know might feel like they missed an emotional opportunity, who might maybe be sad because they're thinking about a relationship here that didn't work out maybe in their past. And you might be telling them that you are willing to work with them now in the Eight of Pentacles, that in your King of Swords energy, you are willing to stand in your truth and power and speak the truth about either a Capricorn or about your own fears, addictions, insecurities, or whatever that you might have had before that had stopped you. And if it's not another person, you are just taking that cup of love from the universe to take action forward so that you aren't focused on this past relationship of feeling like you missed an opportunity because you've learned your lesson. You know, you might have had dreams that a relationship was going to move forward, but if the other person is, I don't know, all about themself in a way, and it was overwhelming to be in a relationship with them, and so it was unfulfilling, you are taking that cup of love from the universe to keep moving forward. You're putting in work and effort within yourself to stand in your truth and power and believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, that, you know, the universe again has different people come into our life, or job situations or friendship groups, where it gets to be, if it's overwhelming to be in that situation, you know, are we going to abandon ourselves, or are we going to stand up for ourselves? And in the King of Swords, Libra energy, you are bringing justice to the situation for yourself. And you're going to stand in your truth and power. And you are going to put hard work and effort into maintaining your balance, because previously you might have been enabling a situation to your detriment. And so you are no longer investing in that person, and you've taken your investment from that person and you've learned this lesson. And so now you're finding your balance. And in your Capricorn energy, both of these are Capricorn energy, you are learning more lessons as you go forward, and you're holding back from maybe investing in anyone right now because you've been doing work and effort on your own foundation to free yourself from what would have made you stay in a relationship like that, or a job like that, or a friendship group like that. Or if that was your attitude in the past, that you were this pampered person, or you should be the spoiled person, or you made your life about money and materialism, you have decided, I'm not living my life like that anymore because it's just overwhelming to live my life like that. I want more balance in my life. I want love and joy and happiness in my life. And you're putting in the work and effort to get down to what the truth is of what you believe and what you desire in your life. And you are not going to let other people who are selfish or greedy or bossy or manipulative, or your own nature of being like that, stop you anymore. And you're no longer investing in that, and you're investing time, energy, and effort into like solidifying your own foundation so that you can get tapped into working from an emotional foundation within yourself. If you previously were investing in a situation with someone, you might have been going kind of back and forth about either if you wanted to align within this nature within yourself in a kind of a shadowy way of making your life more about money and materialism and status and image. And because of that, you were also kind of maybe aligning with people who were more about status and image and money and materialism. And you could have been holding back from loving people in your life that you could have worked with. And now you're working on that loving foundation within yourself, and again, letting go of an opportunity or a job or a friendship or a relationship where it could have been more about image and status and money. And now you're connecting in with your own emotional foundation to really put work and effort into your own foundation so that you can become independent. And in the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy, you're putting in work and effort so that you're more independent and living your life more independently, not letting the world try to dictate to you what you should do in your life, not letting other people outside of you try to dictate and influence you about what you should do in your life. You're an individual. You can belong to a lot of different foundations: your work foundation, your friend group foundation, your original family foundation, your romantic relationship foundation, and your family, your current own family that you have. But you should be able to be independent within it. The foundations that we belong to shouldn't require that it be all group think and that everybody act like beehive where everybody has to think the same, act the same, do the same, wear this, do that. That's trying to make us conform to this world, and we're meant to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And we should respect that everybody is individuals within it, and that everybody has their unique things that they like to invest their time, energy, and effort into that make them feel stable and grounded and fulfilled. It's just like if you have a friend and says, oh no, we all go fishing 5 hours on Saturday. Oh no, we all do yoga. Oh no, we all do painting. Oh no, we all do this. We all make our life about conforming to the world so that in our mind we think that we have the status and the image. It's like, what about going and living your own life and people will think what they want to think anyway? And that's part of the thing of getting caught up in the world. Our whole life is based so much on what we think of ourselves and how we perceive other people. The other people are maybe living just their own life. They really are independent. They really are creative and inspired. They're really living their authentic life. And we live in illusion when we think that, oh no, I have to do this and I have to do that in order to make people approve of me. Well, that would be you being codependent on other people outside of you, determining your worth and value. And when we put in the work and effort out of self-love and self-respect, that, the world can think what they want. I got one soul journey on this lifetime, and I'm really going to invest in the things that bring me joy and fulfillment and work with other people who make me feel uplifted, who are authentically loving. I don't want to hang around people just because of image or status or money and materialism. I don't want to live a fake life. I want to live my real life. And so we become independent and take responsibility for knowing how to kind of nurture ourselves so that we feel stable and secure within ourselves. And you've emotionally been doing that work within your own foundation. And so now you're willing to not make your life about worrying about what other people think of you. It's like, you know what? I'm going to live my life loving myself, encouraging myself, believing in myself and my dreams. I'm going to offer love and respect to other people. If other people want to try to reject that and they want to be controlling or manipulative or try to tell me I need to do this or that, are you telling them to do this and that? Or do you let them live their own individual life? Well, maybe they need to be distanced from. And you are walking away from some people in your life that either think they should be able to control you like they're your mother, or people who wanted to make life that telling you should make your life about money and materialism and image and status and not really live your own unique life. It's like, if you want to live a life about those things, you do that. I find it overwhelming and unfulfilling. I want balance in my life. I don't want to make my life just about those things. So you are becoming independent, which is bringing justice and balance to your own life. And you might have some regrets about the past, but you are going to take time to see yourself and the world around you and what life could be like by seeing things from a new perspective and, changing those thoughts that you have in your head. Because, there's people who don't dare go outside every day because of the way they think about how they perceive things, And once we change our perspective and become enlightened to seeing life from a different perspective, that, life's an adventure to be lived. We're not supposed to be in shadowy Capricorn energy where we're enslaved, where we're fearful, where we're insecure, where we have these self limiting beliefs. Who's putting those thoughts in our head but us? And then other people in our life who might be trying to emotionally manipulate us and try to get us to align with them because they have fears or insecurities or live a shallow life, or they just want to manipulate us and use us for whatever reason they've got. Maybe they wanted us to be in a relationship with them because they know you're loving, you're kind, you're giving, and they're like, great, make me the pampered person of your life. And, oh, sorry, yeah, it'll be emotionally unfulfilling and overwhelming, but it's great for me. And you're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I might have love for you because in the Eight of Cups, you invested emotionally in this person or situation. But if it isn't equal and balanced and fulfilling you emotionally and treating you with the love and respect and kindness and encouragement that you provided to them, then you're taking some time to see yourself and how you've perceived the world from a new perspective, because you want, in Aries energy of the Four Wands, you want to come together with people in friendships, family groups, work groups, where people all come being creative and inspired and putting in the hard work and effort. They're loyal, they're dedicated, they're loving, they're open, they're authentic. Not people who want to either live a shallow life or come together with you in a relationship because of money or image or status as the underlying factor, or where someone wants to be the pampered person. It's like, until you have gotten balance within yourself and you've taken that creative, inspired action to get balance within yourself, it's unfulfilling and overwhelming to be in a relationship with you. So I wish you peace, but me and mine, we're taking creative, inspired action to believe in ourselves and our dreams, and we're no longer oppressed and restricted and going to be manipulated by image or status or money and materialism anymore. And underneath that, the Knight of Swords, you are speaking your truth and you are telling these people or this aspect of yourself, because you wouldn't have tolerated this before unless there was a part of you that kind of aligned with that nature within yourself. And that was your shadowy devil energy that you were working on back here. And you're saying, I align with love. I choose love because love is the answer. Anything else is just living in illusion. We're deluding ourselves, thinking we cannot plant bad seeds and expect to reap the good harvest. If you want loving, encouraging, supportive relationships in your life, you have to hold yourself and other people accountable. People have to have good boundaries within themselves against their own shadowy nature. If people want the scales tipped in their favor, where they get to be immature, selfish, greedy, make life more about things other than love, well, that's okay. They can go live that life. But you're offsetting your fearful, insecure, greedy, materialistic, scared nature, whatever, that you are no longer resonating with those people. If they don't align with love and make that the foundation of their life and how the decisions they make in life, you are. And you're not going to enable people in your life or aspects of yourself to be tempted by people who are aligned with something other than love, because it's unfulfilling. It will never bring you the wish fulfillment that you want in your life. So, what are the people in shadowy? There could be someone in your life, maybe a Libra or a Taurus, who could be coming towards you, because if some of those people before, right now, some of you could have somebody walking away from you because they are so driven by their Taurus energy, which can be in a shadowy sense. I want a relationship where people exchange, either just a transactional relationship where I give you this and you give me that, okay? And it's not about love. Or they're so driven by money and materialism and status and image that, or being the pampered person in a relationship, that some of those people right now are going to walk away from you because they're so driven, they're so overwhelmed about being equal and just and fair in a relationship because they like the scales tipped in their favor if they're selfish and greedy and self-centered. For some of them, they're so driven by money and materialism and wanting to be surrounded by luxury in life that they're willing to let go of being in a relationship with people who are loving in order to go towards the Queen of Wands energy can be the other man, other woman. And so they could, right now, some of you could have someone who's walking away from you, even though you're loving, you're committed, you're loyal, you're dedicated, you're hardworking, just because you want them to be just and fair and balanced in a relationship with you, to treat you as you treat them, to be open, to be honest, to be authentic. And they're like, oh my gosh, trying to maintain my balance in this relationship because they're kind of more someone who presents a facade in a relationship. They're in the relationship to either be pampered and spoiled and indulged, or the only reason they were in the relationship was for image or status or money and materialism. And being in a relationship with people who are balanced is just like, oh my God, trying to kind of hide my true nature is difficult. And they don't find it fulfilling to be in a relationship with people where it's just and fair and equal give and take because they're either so driven by money and materialism, you know, the reason for the relationship never was love. Or they're so driven by wanting to be the pampered person that over time in the relationship it becomes overwhelming because you want equal give and take and they're like, oh my God, I need somebody I can go emotionally manipulate. you know? So either people are leaving relationships, some people are leaving relationships right now because they just like to emotionally manipulate people. I like to emotionally manipulate people so they mother me and they indulge me. And I get to be in my shadow nature of fear or insecurity or immaturity. And people just put up with me being that way. And they make me the center of attention. I'm like a child who's never grown up. And I want to be the ways I want to be. I don't want to let go of my ways of being. I only operate with half my foundation, which is kind of all about me. And I don't tap into my own foundations of love and creativity to offset my more selfish nature. I just want to go find someone who's like a parent who's going to indulge me like a child in a relationship. And that's why, some of them are leaving you. And that's why maybe some of you are leaving them because that's how they are. And other people want to leave relationships because maybe in the relationship with you, there's equal give and take, but because some people in their mind, regardless of how much abundance and stability they have, sometimes there's never enough money. And they're so overwhelmed about money and materialism that if there's someone else that they think they can go get in a relationship with that they think has a lot of money and materialism and status and image, and if those are the things they're driven by, and they feel maybe in the relationship with you that they feel overwhelmed because they feel like maybe they just don't believe in themselves, that if with time, that if they were to take creative inspired action and believe in themselves, they would give birth to the abundance, of the stability and security they want in the relationship with you. And some people are so driven by those things, they're impatient. The fire is those things that make us take action up off the couch, and fire, can really consume us. And our fiery nature, our wants, our needs, our lusts, our greed, that some of those people are willing to let go of what would have been a golden opportunity with you because there is someone else, another man, other woman, who has that stability and abundance, and they think they can maybe emotionally manipulate that person to get in a relationship with them, because if they're so driven by money and materialism, they don't really get in those relationships for those reasons maybe anyway. And so there could be someone else that they could go get in a relationship with. And I know there's a lot of stories in here, but it's not a personal reading, so I'm just telling you all the different stories, and it all might be part of the one story of why you distance yourself from some people, and maybe gives you an understanding of why some people distance themselves from you. Now, there could be some people who went and got in a relationship with the other person and they left that person because it was overwhelming, because they thought that person would maybe be like you. They thought they'd be loving and just and fair and giving, and they were just like them. And it's like, oh shit, yeah, that's not as good. It's not as good to be in a relationship with someone else who's kind of either selfish or greedy or immature or wants to be the pampered person. Now we have two 5 and 8 year olds in a relationship, you know? So now they could want more balance in their life because they felt left out in the cold from the other man, other woman. And now they might be coming towards you because they see that you're going to give birth to a new life. They see that you believed in yourself, you're creative, you're inspired, that, you look like the next gravy train. So let's take a peek at that. If someone from your past could be coming towards you who feels left out in the cold from the other man, other woman that they went to go get in a relationship with, or they could have just left a relationship with someone else who was loving and giving and they felt it overwhelming because they like to be the center of attention, or they like their life to be about money and materialism, and for some reason they might think that you're either going to indulge them or that you have money and materialism, so they want to align with you. If someone like that comes towards you, you might tell them, I'm moving forward in love. I'm having a new beginning. I took that cup of love and I'm putting in work and effort and standing in my truth and power. And if you find this person to be toxic, selfish, greedy, you're going to listen to your intuition. If you already knew this person and you knew this person was selfish and greedy and spoiled and pampered and self-centered, I think you will tell them the truth. That, it's kind of like, I wish you peace. I hope it works out for you. But unless you're willing to align with love and put in work and effort to speak your truth and get yourself balanced and have good discipline against your selfish, greedy, indulgent nature, I'm not interested in being in a relationship with you, because I've freed myself from willing to be in a relationship that's less than I deserve. For some of you, you might tell this person, you were toxic, selfish, and greedy. You juggled me and walked away because you weren't sure if you wanted to invest in me or that other person. You held back from me in order to go indulge yourself in a third party. And you worked together with them. You decided to walk away and become single. And in your mind, you thought it was just and fair to do that. Well, I think it's just and fair for me now to hold back from working together with you because you've shown me who you are. And I'm independent on my own. I know my worth and value. And I was trying to bring justice to the situation when I was in a relationship with you. I provided a relationship that was loving and kind and supportive and encouraging, and you had that opportunity. It was like the divine works through people. Provide a loving, stable, secure, committed, dedicated, you be aligned with love. Offer that love to other people. And if those people use that opportunity, it's kind of like being in heaven, right? You're in heaven. What are you going to do? Are you going to put in the work and effort to get out of your own selfish, greedy, immature, self-centered way of being to keep creating heaven on earth? Or are you going to decide, I think I'm going to live more from my mind than my heart. I think it's more about me. I think I know better. I don't think I have to do love. I think, me being full of myself, that I can be toxic and selfish and greedy and indulgent and immature. I think I can juggle the loving people in my life and still hold on to people from my past or a third party. And I think I think I'll become single and then I'll just go between people and go indulge myself. I think that's what's just and fair. Well, you found out that this person didn't take the opportunity in love to deal with their regrets of the past. They weren't willing to let go of people from their past or foundations that they align with, in order to move forward with you. They could have walked away towards a Leo or just operating from their pride and ego. They chose, I'm going to be, I want the relationship to go the way I want it. Because we either align with love and we put in the work and effort with loving people to be just and fair and committed and loyal and dedicated because we value that relationship enough, or we take a risk and say, I think I'm going to take a risk to be selfish and greedy and manipulative. And if I can get those people to feel left out in the cold and fearful and insecure, well, then they'll do a relationship the way I want it, which is me being the pampered person in the relationship, where they get to be just and fair in their King of Swords Libra energy, and I get to be selfish and greedy. And in my Two of Pentacles, I kind of get a juggle, and in my Four of Pentacles, I get to be kind of selfish and greedy. And in my Three of Cups, I get to use my emotions manipulatively in this relationship, and I get to triangulate them against other people. And basically, if all their tactics didn't work and you kept saying, I'm giving it everything I've got to be balanced, and if you're not willing to put in the work and effort, I will detach from you and give birth to a new life. And this person could have kept using their tactics. First they distanced themselves emotionally. They were trying to overwhelm you. When you kept putting in work and effort to keep it balanced, this person doesn't want to align with love, so they decided to try to emotionally manipulate you. And you said, you keep doing that. I'm keeping moving forward in love. If you keep acting this way, this will be a missed emotional opportunity. And I will put in work and effort to stand in my truth and speak my truth about you being toxic and selfish and greedy. I will find my balance. I will hold back from you. If you want to go align with someone else because they align with your selfish, greedy, and they're willing to indulge you being that way, well, then you enjoy working with them. I will become single from you, and I will have brought justice to my own life. And if you're coming back now thinking you can emotionally manipulate me, it's like, I hope one day you grow up and mature yourself, because using other people and just indulging yourself and thinking you can be selfish and greedy is only going to lead to you not living the life you are meant to live on earth. And you're going to ignore love, and other people are going to get in relationships with you and feel like they missed an emotional opportunity. And the people you align yourself with are people who indulge themselves in the world, who are missing an opportunity. I hope one day you decide to put in the work and effort to align with love and live the life that's your like divine inheritance. But if you choose to be toxic and selfish and think you can just wear a false mask in the world that you're loving and just and committed and loyal when you know you're not, and you know you're selfish and greedy, you're just going to be creating illusion and emotional confusion for yourself and all the people you work with in your life. But, everybody's got free will. If you want to keep being like single and think it's just and fair to basically live in regret and cause other people regret because you're too afraid to align with love, well, I don't want to align with people who are unwilling to align with love because they've been hurt before. So now they operate out of pride and ego and try to emotionally manipulate people and just create illusions in relationships and decide, I'm going to make it all about me or all about money and materialism. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone like that. I have become enlightened to the truth about your foundation, and your foundation is mentally defensive to offering love because you have mental conflict about that, and you have mental conflict about learning your lessons in life. And if that's how you want to live your life, I wish you peace. But when I was in a relationship with you, it caused me a lot of mental conflict because it's hard to be in a relationship with someone who is so fearful and afraid of like being hurt, or so focused on self-centeredness of wanting to be the shining star in the world or be the center of attention. It's just an unbalanced relationship. It's unhealthy. And I'm going to speak my truth and fight for the things I believe in. And I'm going to offer love to my own mental conflict that I have about this situation to see life from a higher perspective, because Five of Swords is Aquarius energy. I'm going to step back and look at life from a higher perspective, which is why I have this tapestry on my wall, because sometimes you got to step way back. And you see that there is some divine order and play in the world, and I'm going to align with that. And I'm going to believe that the divine has a plan for my life, and it's not to stay in relationships with people who are selfish and greedy and self centered and materialistic, and people who want to emotionally manipulate me. There's got to be other grown folks in the world. And I've learned my lesson, and I'm willing to close out this chapter in my life because I want my dreams to come into reality. And I am going to listen to my intuition to guide me towards my emotional wish fulfillment. I have seen the truth of people who harness shadowy Aquarius energy and the Five of Swords, people who seem to have an energy of wanting to win at all costs. It's all about them, their lust, their greed, their self importance. And I've seen the truth, and I'm moving away from it. And unless you have seen the truth, I have no interest in being in a relationship with you. Six of Swords down to Two of Swords, letting go of a Four of Swords. You've healed from this situation. If you already had someone leave you because they like to be in relationships where they can emotionally manipulate people because they're not aligned with love. Because if you're not aligned with love, you are aligned with your pride and ego in your Leo energy. You're prideful. You're operating from pride and ego because you don't have a good emotional foundation within yourself to give love to other people, to be open and honest and authentic. And because they haven't done the work within themselves and they don't believe they can weather emotional storms, or they've just aligned with being prideful and egotistical and making their life about emotionally manipulating people, their status, their image, making their life about money and materialism. It's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I've healed, and I'm listening to my intuition to guide me towards bringing my dreams into reality, and I am going to have a new beginning. I have learned my lesson, and I've tapped into that inner youthful belief in myself to be a student of life, and I was meant to learn a lesson from this life experience, to see the truth that other people view life differently than I do, and that some people are emotionally manipulative. Some people do get into relationships and just create illusion for image or status or to be indulged. And if you want to get in relationships for money and materialism reasons, and that's the foundation for you getting in relationships, you go. Enjoy your life. I'm not doing that. I am free from those things. So, the people in shadowy energy. And some of you, as you move forward and detach from this old foundation or this old job or this old relationship, there will be people in your future who are emotionally brave and confident just like you. And you will come across those people and be able to give birth to a new life. You will find a new friend. You will find a new job. You will find new relationships with other people who went through the same type of foundation as you. And find those people who are in life-giving energy, people who have balanced themselves out, who have tempered their prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy nature, their worldly nature, people who've tapped into love and hope and faith and belief in themselves and know that they choose to align with love, to act with character and integrity. They're hardworking, dedicated, loyal, committed, creative, inspired, and loving. Those are the people you deserve to be in relationships with. Now, the people in shadowy energy, there's that Five of Swords, shadowy Aquarius energy, people who want to look like a shining star in the 3D world or be the center of attention in a relationship. Those people are people who live more from their mind than their heart. They're in a mental prison about love. There's 10 in each suit, and 10 swords would be completely up in your head and having no connection in with your heart. This person is 8 swords up in their head. That means they only have 2 cups of love down in their heart. They have a lot of fears and insecurities about aligning with love. So those people have a lot of mental conflict within themselves because maybe they're afraid that if they just like don't believe like in themselves. You could look at the divine as just positive energy of love and hope and faith and belief in yourself, and you have to align within that within yourself. And this person thinks, no, 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 I have to be practical and logical. I've got to, work with like the things of the world. I think that's how my dreams will come into reality. So basically they don't kind of believe in themselves, and they have a lot of fears and insecurities about living their authentic life. Maybe they're really afraid, and they're so afraid of wanting to look like a shining star in the world and successful and victorious, but yet they don't like love and nurture themselves. They have all these fears and insecurities of self-doubt. Well, this person lives in illusion. They're caught up. The moon can be about fears and insecurities. They're not seeing things clearly. They have so many things buried beneath the surface of their emotions that are causing them all these fears and insecurities. And until they are willing to go with down and work through all these fears and insecurities, go down and look at those emotions and those fears and insecurities that they have, they're always going to be enslaved and in a mental prison. They, in shadowy Capricorn energy, have decided, I'm just going to make my life about money and materialism and status and image, wear a social mask to hide the fact that I have fears and insecurities. I'll create illusion with the people I get in relationships with so they don't know I have all this fear and insecurity. And I'm going to focus on money and materialism and status and image, because if I do that, the world will give me a stamp of approval and say, we find you victorious. You look successful. But it'll never take away their fear and their insecurity. That'll always be there. You can be surrounded by all the luxury in the world and be riddled with fear and insecurity and self-doubt because you don't know your own worth and value, because you haven't worked through your own fears and insecurities and dealt with your own emotions. Until you love yourself and believe in yourself, you'll always be imprisoned. And that's the truth of living life. And we either see the truth of that and we do the work within ourselves to free ourselves from those things, or we continue to live in illusion, be emotionally confused, enslaved to our fears and our insecurities and our self-doubt, and living from pride and ego because we think, I don't have to do that work within myself to free myself. In my pride and ego, I think I can skirt the system. I think I can have success in the world without doing that. And it's like, yeah, you can have success in the world, but you'll never get away from this. You will always be enslaved. So some people right now could be leaving to go towards the other man, other woman, or operating from pride and ego. They are deciding, I'm going to continue to live in illusion because I don't want to deal with my fears and insecurities. I'm going to keep emotionally investing in the world. I think in my pride and ego that I will be victorious and that I can have an inspired new beginning. But with the tower here, we live within the divine's world. The divine made nature. The divine made all of this. And the purpose for us being here is to learn that love is the answer. We're like trees and all other things in nature. All the other things in nature strive to live to their full potential, to become their full potential. We as human beings are the only ones who have free will to say, oh no, I'm like a tree. I got like an apple tree. I grew to 8-10 feet tall. I have enough apples to feed myself and some other people. I'm good. But the divine has planted a seed within us to say, no, you're supposed to go to 25 people to feed other people. You are meant to learn lessons in life so that you can help other people grow to their full potential. You are meant to grow to your full potential. You do have free will to not grow to your full potential, but if you do, why aren't you growing to your full potential? Do you not believe in yourself? Do you think you know better than what your intuition is telling you? Your intuition is telling you to treat other people as you would like to be treated. Your intuition is telling you that you're being selfish and greedy. Your intuition is telling you that you're not acting with character and integrity. And these people want to ignore their intuition and say, no, no, I know better. I don't have to do those things. I could get hurt doing those things. If I'm open and honest and authentic and treat other people just and fair, they could hurt me. It's like the reason that scares you, everybody wants to be in relationships with people who are loving and kind and warm. And you think, though, that you can skirt the system, that you can create illusion with people who become a marriage partner to you because the pentacle suit's the only suit of the deck that's married. You think you can create illusion for your partner, being defensive of listening to your intuition and living more from your mind. And you think that's going to work out? It's not. Because the people who are loving are going to see the truth that you are defensive, that you are prideful and egotistical and fearful and insecure. They're going to offer you the warmth and the love and encouragement for you to move forward with them. And if you keep unwilling to use that environment to work through your own fears and insecurities, those other people want open, honest, authentic relationships, and they're going to end the relationship. If you get in relationships with people who are just like yourself, who are also fearful, insecure, selfish, greedy, self-centered, defensive, that relationship, you can stay in it, but it's going to be very unstable. And you're going to be in a mental prison. And the whole point is that you deserve better than that. And that's why the universe wants people to realize you deserve what you deserve. You deserve to love yourself. You deserve to believe in yourself. You don't deserve to live in a mental prison. And the whole point of life is to keep making people realize you deserve more than that. And until you are willing to bring down your old foundational ways of being, to know your worth and value and shed light and love on yourself. And light and love is like you don't go within and go in there with a hammer and beat yourself up and pummel yourself being stupid and blah, 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 blah. We're human beings on a life journey. We all get caught up in pride and ego and defensiveness, and we'd all like things to be our way, and we'd all like people to make us the pampered person. But eventually, we've got to grow up, and we're not a child in relationships anymore. And people who are loving and warm to us deserve for us to treat them with love and respect back. And we're supposed to learn lessons and grow up in order to be and live life and have the life we were meant to deserve. We're meant to get over our fears and insecurities of being more open and honest and authentic. We're meant to bloom into the person we were meant to be. And that is someone who's aligned with love, who offers themselves encouragement every day, who offers themselves compassion for being a fallible human being who did get caught up in their pride and ego and their defensiveness and their fears and insecurities. We're meant to offer love and compassion to ourselves. And the people in our life who might have hurt us, that kicked us up into our pride and ego, that made us start to act this way and be fearful and insecure, we're supposed to offer them love and compassion because they had lessons they didn't learn that made them unloving, unkind, emotionally manipulative, prideful, and egotistical and defensive. And we're supposed to say, I'm not going to let you keep me in that negative energy anymore. I'm going to go live the life I deserve. But so basically, some people haven't learned those lessons yet. It looks like some of them are going to defend maybe the illusion they created when they initially walked away from loving people in their life about why they did it. Some of them walked away from the loving people in the world because they do love the things of the world, their addictions to booze, drugs, money, image, status, pride, ego. They're addicted to things other than love. And because of that, those people right now might be having a new beginning that makes them look victorious in the world, operating from their pride and ego. Six of Wands is Leo energy. And they think they can have a new inspired beginning and not deal with their pride and ego. If they're in a relationship with someone who's just like themselves, who is also about money and materialism and status and image. They might look to the world like they're very victorious, but this will be a very unstable foundation. We've got two people who operate from pride and ego and fear and insecurity. And when you have that within yourself, you're not very giving to other people. It does end up being more of a transactional relationship. Well, I did that for you yesterday. You're supposed to do this for me. It's very, yeah, I don't know how else to explain it, but it isn't freely giving and loving. And it either will be a very unstable foundation that they are unwilling to let go of, because maybe that's the type of family dynamic that they grew up within, where people get into relationships for status or image or money or pride or ego, and everybody knows how to live a fake life. Not, which is really sad, right? They're not living an authentic life. They're not in relationships with people because they love them. And ever since we've been small children, we like to be in relationships with people who are loving and giving and kind and supportive. And they're choosing to be in relationships with people where that's not the foundation of it. But I guess justice is served. If they choose to be this way, they should be in relationships with other people who are just like themselves. Because if you align with the world or indulging yourself or being, I don't know, living a life not based on love, then you should be in a relationship with other people not based on love. And yeah, you might have a lot of victory and success and money and materialistic things. And let them have that. If you high vibe people, that's not the type of relationship you want, then don't settle for less than you deserve. So I think, yeah, money is coming for everybody. Abundance is coming. Money is just another form of energetic abundance. And some people are just settling for money. You're going to have stability, security, and love. You're going to have true abundance. Some people, because they deceive themselves about the truth, they're going to try to deceive other people into getting in relationships with them. And for some of those people, they're going to go get in those other relationships and it's going to fall apart. For anybody who did already fall apart, those people now might be overwhelmed and looking to exchange resources with someone else, and they, because their new beginning that they went to go to, that they thought was going to give them the money, the image, the status, it fell apart, and now they feel left out in the cold, and they might be looking to try to emotionally manipulate you. Don't let somebody tempt you to operate from your pride and ego, wanting to look like I'm the winner. Look, they came back and got in a relationship with me. Don't let somebody try to appeal to your worldly nature, your prideful, egotistical nature, your selfish, greedy nature, unless you want to come down here and live a life like this. Because the divine is telling you, if you keep aligned with love, you will move forward very swiftly. This person might have to be a missed emotional opportunity, but take this cup of love, keep putting in work and effort to stand in your truth, to get the justice you deserve in your life, and do not let selfish, greedy people make you juggle back and forth. Hold back from people in your life who like to emotionally manipulate people, who like to triangulate people, and put in work and effort to become independent of these people in your life and get the justice you deserve in your life. So, did I tell you? No, I didn't. I did a random flip of the quote calendar, and you got, be gentle with yourself. You are doing the best you can. May 7th. Fives and tarot can talk about the people who still have lessons to learn. They're definitely going to have some inner conflict. Fives talk about conflict. And those of you who have learned lessons are willing to change. And 7 also can be, it just depends. If you are not willing to align with the truth, you're going to have a lot of inner conflict. And, the decisions that the things that you defend are maybe things out of illusion, confusion, pride, ego. And the people who are willing to change are standing up for themselves and seeing all the emotional possibilities ahead of them. So be gentle with yourself. You are doing the best you can. And, that's the thing that, until we're willing to learn the lesson and detach from exchanging resources with people and aspects of ourself that stop us and keep us in like fear or insecurity or pride and ego, until we learn the lessons and move forward, the divine just looks at us as like children learning lessons, and it doesn't matter what we choose. We have free will. Whatever we choose, we're going to learn the lessons. The divine is constantly trying to teach us the lesson that you need to learn to love yourself. You are meant to take over the responsibility in your life. The answer doesn't lie outside of you. When we were children, we had parents who made us the center of attention and hopefully nurtured us and encouraged us, but we were meant to learn the lesson to take over that job for ourselves. The answer lies within us. We're meant to believe in ourselves and love and encourage ourselves every day. So until people learn their lessons, they're going to keep being in an unstable foundation within themselves, in relationships that end up eventually becoming very unstable because the high of a new relationship or the drug or the alcohol wears off, and we're stuck with the inner conflict we have within ourselves. And until we are willing to shed light on those things and work through those things, we're going to keep feeling unstable because we were meant to align with love. So there you go, Capricorn energies of the world. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.